so frustrated. It's almost time to get these guys outside, and I came out yesterday and there were little caterpillars all over everything. I think there's one right there. I think most of the damage is on the seed leaves and not the real leaves, so we may be okay. I will probably have to replant some of them. So it could have been worse, but it's frustrating. I have no idea where those caterpillars came from. Anyway, it's time, for me at least, to start hardening off these guys and getting them outside anyway. If it's not time for you yet, it will be soon. So I'm going to go through a couple of different ways of doing this today. Number one is the tried and true traditional method that we've all used forever. And I'll be going through that, but I'm also going to go through the lazy guy's way of doing it. And if you are still at work right now, a lot of us are off, and so we have more time to do it the traditional way, but I'm going to show you a less cumbersome way. Literally no muss, no fuss to get it done. So stay tuned. So it is time to start hardening these guys off. And we're going to try it the traditional way, or I'm going to go through the traditional way first, and then we'll go through the lazy man's way. Oh, some of these look really bad with that caterpillar issue. Anyway, so here's the reason we do the hardening off. It's not as much for getting them used to the outside temperature as much as it is to the sunlight. You know, after winter, we're probably all a little paler than we are in the summertime. And if we went straight out into the hot sun and sat all day long, what would happen? We'd be fried. Same thing is going to happen to the plants. What you want to do is very slowly build up acclimation. And what happens is the leaves actually get thicker the more they're exposed to sunlight. Hey, want to join us? Whoa. They get a thicker leaf the more they're exposed to the sunlight. And so we want to do that, but we want to do it very slowly. Otherwise, you're going to fry your plants. And so the traditional way, the first couple of days, you'd put them out in the shade for a couple of hours, and then you would ease them into the sun over a period of possibly 7 days, maybe an hour more each day. And then by the end of the 7 days, they're good to go. Now, I know a lot of us are home right now, but some of us still work, and some of us just don't want all that hassle. And so what we do is you, first of all, before anything, check your last frost date. I'll put a link down below to do that if you don't know it already, and you don't want to do it until that date. You don't want to risk your plants at all in terms of frost. Now, there are certain plants that do not worry about the frost, and those are your cool season plants. So your brassicas, your lettuce, your kale, peas, all of the cool season, they don't mind the frost. You can actually do them before that. However, even cool season plants need to be hardened off because of the sun. So that cool season versus warm season just tells you when you can start hardening it off. It doesn't mean you don't have to. So once you're past your frost date, you're going to look on the calendar or on your forecast for a 3-day period of overcast weather. Now ours happens to be today, tomorrow, and the next day. And so all you have to do is take them out in the morning on those overcast days, put them right out in the open for the entire day. 3 days in a row is going to get them used to the sun, but the clouds will provide enough protection where they are not burned. And then after that 3-day period, they'll be totally fine to put wherever you're going to have them. Now, if you have, let's say, an overcast day and then a sunny day and 2 overcast days. On the sunny day, you want to find a spot in your yard that gets morning sun, maybe for a couple of hours, and then is shaded. And I've got lots of those because of the big tree we have here in the backyard. And that way you could leave for work or whatever and know that your plants are going to be fine because they're only going to get that first 2 hours of sun, which is fine. You also don't want to put your seedlings on the ground. You want to have them up off the ground to keep them away from any types of pests that might be lurking in your backyard, bunnies or bugs of any kind or caterpillars. Just keeping them up off the ground keeps them safe. Even though it might be overcast, it could still be too warm. If you live in a place that doesn't really get winters, or sometimes we'll have a heat wave. So if the weather's going to be over 75 degrees, wait till the next overcast day. Also, if it's too windy outside where your plants are going to get battered, there's another. If it's too windy and your plants are going to get battered by the wind, I would go ahead and wait on that as well. So that's pretty much it. You could do it either way, but honestly, I've been doing this for 5 years with the overcast days. We get enough of them this time of year that it's not been a problem for me. So whichever way you want to do it, good luck, and we are almost ready to plant. So happy spring, and get your plants outside if it's time. If it's not, don't rush it. I'll see you guys next time.